All right, my folks, how are we doing? Roland Martin here. It is, of course, January 3rd, 2018. And I hope you had a fabulous holiday season, Christmas season, New Year's. So here's the deal. I've been, first of all, been a weird day. First off, let me start this way. Welcome to the January 3rd, 2018 edition, first one of 2018, the Roland Martin Unfiltered podcast. That open you saw, of course, was the video open to the digital website that also I launched in July, allthat.tv. And so I just wanted to go ahead and of course, play with y'all on that one. Y'all probably hadn't seen that one. Well, maybe you did, but I wanted to go ahead and do that. Somewhat a weird day because, man, it was a little wild waking up because my body kept waking me up at 3 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock, then at 4:30, then at 5 o'clock, then at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not trying to get up this early because my time joiner hit wasn't until 7:15. Then again, it hit me. Man, you know what? All these years, I've actually been waking up at 4:30, 4:45 the last 4 years to do TV One's News One Now. And we were supposed to come back on the air today. That was before, of course, the decision was made to end the show. And so I got to get my body used to not having to wake up that early. And so that's what's up. So here's it. So I'm sitting in front of, I was going to do this from my kitchen, and I got a studio downstairs. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to do it from in here. So what's behind me is this really cool artwork. That we used to be on the set of Washington Watch. Of course, that was the first show, my first Sunday show that I talked to. I talked to them. Hold on one second. See, folks are hitting me up. Appreciate it. A lot of folks been like, "Oh man, where are you? Been missing your show." Folks have been calling me. Someone's telling me, "God, our mornings are not the same. What is next?" I mean, folks have been hitting me up. Bishop Jakes, thanks for the shout out today as well. Londell McMillan. I mean, so many of you folks saying they missed TV One's News One Now. And look, I understand. You know, not my call, but it's all good. You know, so you know you do what you got to do, and you keep this thing moving. And so we'll have some announcements real soon about what's next, things along those lines. So I was going to do it downstairs. So I said, what the heck, I'll come in here and sit in my, and this is sort of like my art area. And so in my house, and so I got a bunch of stuff here. And so I want just to be able to holler at y'all today, share some thoughts with y'all. So let me go ahead and just get started this way. Let me go ahead and get started this way. Some of y'all are so funny, talking about Focus in Alabama, talking about Shelly, where's my iPad? Well, I'm broadcasting on my iPad via the Live Air Action app because it allows me to do some different stuff, and so I'm going to show you in a second. So let me go ahead and get started. There were a lot of things I wanted to talk about, a lot of things that I could get into. Somebody said, tell me about the flag behind you. So yes, I'm sorry. I told y'all, people hitting me up. There's all kinds of different things are moving. So this was on the set of Washington Watch. The first show I had on TV One was a Sunday morning show. And so the woman who designed the set, she really did this amazing art piece. And so what she did was she actually, of the 50 stars, put famous African Americans in those 50 stars, and so you'll see all of those different stars there, and so then also infused the photos of African Americans in the stripes as well, and so you can see Muhammad Ali, you can see Marvin Gaye, you can see some others as well. So you know, I've got lots of artwork in my home. I got lots of artwork that frankly I haven't even put up. I mean, just all kinds of artwork. This is probably, out of all the pieces I have, and I've got some great pieces, my favorite one. This is the piece that will never be sold. It just won't. It will never be sold. It was from my first show, and it's just a unique piece. It's an amazing piece, and so I just love it. I just love it. So let me go ahead and get started. So last month, when all this brouhaha over Dr. Cornel West writing this piece in this newspaper on this website across the pond, highly critical of Ta-Nehishi Coates, and all these people, man, were responding, and they were just all into it and upset and just, oh man, fired up. And folks began to call me, and they began to hit me up, and they began to, man, Roland, what are your thoughts? And man, what do you think about this whole deal? And, you know, I listened, but I didn't respond. I didn't. I wasn't going to get into it. I just let other folks do what they do. So, a couple of friends of mine also called, and they were like, yeah, but man, I know you got some insight into it. And I was like, yes. I began to talk to them, and as I began to read these other pieces out here, I began to listen to what people have to say. I did realize that I certainly had a point of view that was different, that was unique from what other people out here had to say. And so let me first start this way. Let me first start here. Many of us really need to grow up. Let me explain what I mean by that. This back and forth between Ta-Nehishi Coates and Cornel West, and some will even say there's no back and forth. It's not unique. What I mean by it's not unique, it's not as if we have not seen these debates before. You go back and look at some of these amazing debates between Malcolm X and others on broadcast television. You'll see that. If you study history, you'll see in arts, science, physics, and mathematics, and chemistry, and astronomy, and economics, in this world of academia. I mean, you've had these massive debates between towering presence. Many of us know about Booker T. Washington, W.B. Du Bois. So I'm just trying to understand why we act as if somehow this is any different. As if somehow this is not standard. It is standard. It's not that unique. This is a continuation, if you will, of the debates that have long existed in Black America, but also in America. And so you got people who are, and let me say this right now, although y'all might realize that I'm live streaming this podcast, don't act a fool on social media, because I will block you on YouTube, Facebook. I don't need the language. I don't need the N-word. I don't need the people calling coon, stuff like that. I mean, I'm just telling you right now, I'm not. And so some dude, so here's the deal. A lot of y'all might be new. If you use racial epithets, I'm blocking you. we're just not even gonna debate this. I'm just letting y'all know. So let me just go ahead and set the standard. I have not blocked anybody thus far in 2018, but let me just be clear, I will block you. So I have a zero tolerance for that. I don't need you. F this B, this. We don't need it. Okay. We all can sit here and look, we all cuss stuff along those. But we're engaged in an actual debate conversation. People on here looking at stuff. I don't need childishness, so I'm just trying to let y'all know. So everybody has their warning, zero tolerance. So if you get blocked, don't whine later, okay? You can do that stuff on other people's feeds. I don't care, but on mine, I control it. And my followers don't want to have to sit here and deal with all that nonsense. So if that's how you are able to communicate, well, then you're going to have to communicate somewhere else. Simple as that. So let me get back to my point. So these debates between powerful influences is not new. And in fact, we need to have this level of debate and discourse because it allows us to be able to go back and forth in a very serious way over some issues. Now, think about this for a second. How many of us were just blown away by Lin-Manuel's Hamilton? The genius of it. Well, you do know that Hamilton was set up as a result of these fierce back and forth letter writings and debates and just, you name it, between Hamilton and Burr. So why are we acting like this is something that's new? It's not. So I really hate the fact that Ta-Nehishi Coates got off Twitter. Because I think, look, just learn to resist it. Just, you can also ignore it. And then folks taking sides, but people have always taken sides. And that's what happens in debates. We heard Lincoln Douglas debates, and you had that. And so what West did, which is nothing different than what Hamilton has done, and it's nothing different than what Du Bois has done or what Booker T. Washington has done. And then people went back and forth over this whole thing of neoliberal and coziness with white supremacy, all of that. Let me cut through all of that. This is my analysis. I have not talked to Ta-Nehishi Coates. I have not talked to Cornel West. I have not. Here's, I think, was at the root of the whole deal between West and Coates. President Barack Obama. Dr. Cornel West, you can just read through his stuff, simply believes that Ta-Nehishi Coates, his view of President Barack Obama and his 8 years is wrong. That's just what it is. That is the root of this whole deal. Now, for so many of you are angry, upset, mad. We can go down the line. With Dr. Cornel West, because of his fierce criticism of President Obama. I had Dr. Cornel West on my TV One show, Washington Watch, when this thing first lit up. And he said, point blank, that a lot of this really stemmed from that he was going to be critical of President Obama, but a lot of this stems from when he said Obama cussed him out at the National Urban League Convention in 2010. We've had multiple conversations. To this day, West has not told me exactly what Obama has said, but clearly it deeply wounded him considering it was Dr. West who also campaigned 65 different visits for Obama. That's the root of all this, y'all. Now, Ta-Nehishi Coates had that huge piece that was in The Atlantic that was sort of, I guess, it was Obama's black exit interview because he didn't do any interviews with black media, any exit interviews. He didn't do one with us at TV One. In fact, I only got one interview with him, and that was in January 2010. I don't believe April Ryan got an exit interview. I don't believe any black media got an exit interview. Now, ABC got one, CBS, NBC, these podcasts, all these other people got one. Black media did not get one. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ta-Nehishi did. And in that 8,000 word piece or whatever that Ta-Nehishi did, I think there's only one line in there that was critical about policy. I think so much of that piece was really just about how black people were made to feel good with the Obamas in the White House. That's the root of this disagreement between West and Coates. West believes that Coates has been too cozy in his perspective about Obama. I cut through all of that other stuff. I cut through all of that. That's the root. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to be clear, a lot of people have been so mad and angry with Dr. Cornel West. Upset. Just hot with Dr. Cornel West. Because of his attacks, if you will, on President Barack Obama. I said to him point blank that when you brought up the inauguration tickets, it came off as petty. And that's one of the reasons why people criticize you. But a lot of people don't understand that what Cornel West said he was going to do, he called this before the inauguration. Listen to what I just said. Cornel West called this before the inauguration. Obama was inaugurated January 20th, 2009. January 19th, 2009, that was a symposium sponsored by Spike Lee's advertising agency. Spike BBD, I think that's what it was called. And on that panel was Tower Wall Republican, Cornel West, Reverend Jackson, Donna Brazile, Amy Holmes, Reverend Al Sharpton. Why do I remember this? Because I was a moderator. It took place, Camden Auditorium, Howard University. Packed. Here's the backstory. CNN wanted me to co-host their From MLK to Obama special on the Mall in Washington. I said, I'm booked. I'm at Howard University. And in fact, my lineup at Howard University is stronger than what y'all got there. So y'all need to bring the satellite truck to me. And that's what happened. So one of the reasons I was a little delayed in coming on live today, because I still have the video. I still have the video. So, this was The last comment that was made on that panel, first of all, it was a 2-hour panel. We actually had a couple of panels. They came to us twice during that hour live. I asked the question to Cornel West, are young people ready to assume the mantle of leadership with this inauguration of Barack Hussein Obama? That was the setup. This is what Cornel West, this is what Dr. Cornel West had to say in response to that.
But we tell our dear brother Barack Obama, out of love, be a thermostat, not a thermometer. A thermostat shapes the climate of opinion. A thermometer just reflects it. If you're not going to teach the people, take the time to point out what the situation is and say sacrifice for fairness, then you're just going to be a thermometer reflecting all the views that's out there, and it's going to end up a mess. You got to be leading. That's what Martin was about. That's what you can learn from Brother Martin Luther King Jr. And we'll be there to help Brother Barack, but we're going to put some pressure on that brother too. But we tell our dear brother Barack Obama, out of love.
Now, did y'all just hear that? Did y'all just hear that? Now, when I had Cornel West on my Washington Watch show, Cornel West actually forgot he said that. And I played it for him. I played it for him. Y'all, that's what he said. Okay, some of y'all don't believe me. That's what he said. That's what he said. Okay, let me play it again for some of y'all who missed this. Because I need y'all to understand that what Cornel West has been doing, he said he was going to do. So actually, before Obama even cussed him out, according to West, this is what he said he was going to do.
But we tell our dear brother Barack Obama, out of love, be a thermostat, not a thermometer. A thermostat shapes the climate of opinion. A thermometer just reflects it. If you're not going to teach the people, take the time to point out what the situation is and say sacrifice for fairness, then you're just going to be a thermometer reflecting all the views that's out there, and it's going to end up a mess. You got to be leading. That's what Martin was about. That's what you can learn from Brother Martin Luther King Jr. And we'll be there to help Brother Barack, but we're going to put some pressure on that brother too. But we tell our dear brother Barack Obama,
So, hope you now understand where West is coming from. Coates has a different perspective. Both are valuable. The perspective of Peniel Joseph, valuable. Eddie Glaude, valuable. Michael Eric Dyson, valuable. All of these voices, Kimberly Crenshaw, valuable. I can go down the line, valuable. The problem here is when we fall into the trap of that's one line of thinking. There's only one way we should be operating. See, what I would love to see, and again, not for the perspective of sport, I would love to see an actual, literal conversation, dialogue, debate, hashing out between Coates, West, Dyson, and others. I would love to see this where you have male and female voices sitting here grappling with these issues. Because see, we can't sit here and love and revere Baldwin as if he wasn't engaged in these conversations. That's where we make the mistake. Now, I've said this to Cornel West. I've said that I felt that his critiques of President Obama have at times been vicious, unnecessarily mean-spirited. I remember when there was a conversation about for the second inauguration and Obama using the Bible of MLK. And he just went off. I thought it was unnecessarily vicious. Roland would have responded that I hope that when President Obama puts his hand on that MLK Bible, the radical spirit of MLK could somehow come off of that Bible, seep into his fingerprints, then go into his bloodstream, and then begin to impact him for a second term. That's how I would have responded. I would not have responded the way he did. But that's just me. That's just me. I would not have responded that way. So what I hope we get out of this is not the trivial. What I hope we get out of this is not the sport of Coates is great, West sucks. Coates sucks, West is great. Who's a hater, who isn't? No, what I would hope we would get out of this is an actual dialogue and understanding of these huge issues that we're having to deal with in our society. That's what I hope. And so, again, I was going to ignore this issue, but I just thought it needed to be said. It needed to be said. There are some other beefs out there. I haven't decided whether I'm going to weigh in on those. And I'm going to deal with that. I'll let y'all know if I decide to talk about that. We'll see. But I just want y'all to understand that in 2018, I need you to understand this in 2018. We have some fundamental issues that we have to contend with. We literally are dealing with a president who's tweeting about how big his nuclear button is, when in fact there actually is no button. We really need to understand that there are some vital local elections, state rep, state senate. You've got folks who you got Trump, who literally is putting somebody, who wants to put somebody over the census, who believes in racial gerrymandering, voter suppression. I just need us to understand that we need free thinkers. We need people who are focused, who are challenging us, who are pushing us out of our comfort zones. I just don't think we have time for childishness and pettiness. We don't. We have no time for it. We have no time for it whatsoever. So I'm done. I hope you enjoyed this Roland Martin Unfiltered podcast. I will be doing more of this. Many of you have been asking me about in terms of what's next, daily show, what's next for TV One. I'm still under contract with TV One through August 31st, 2018. We'll find out what's next. I think I'm meeting within this week There are some other things that I am working on. I want to, hopefully I'll be able to announce those things very soon. And so there you go. That's what's going on. Folks, you can always hit me. Of course, you can always reach me on Snapchat, Roland S. Martin, Instagram, Roland S. Martin, Twitter, Roland S. Martin. Also my Facebook page. Do me a favor, go to my digital site, allthat.tv. You can check this out. You can also, and be sure to share the rebroadcast of this live stream. It's on YouTube, it's on Periscope, it's on Facebook as well. So we certainly hope that you enjoy it. Share with others. Hopefully they can learn from this as well. And that's what's up. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Y'all have a great one. Take care.